Hey everyone, hope you're doing well. So, recently I bought a Chelsea pitch on a share, and prior to that, I was trying to search online how to do that, but wasn't quite able to find anything related to this other than obviously the Chelsea's official website, which was helpful to be honest. Although this is a fairly simple process, I thought I would still go ahead and make a video on this so that anyone interested in owning a Chelsea share from anywhere in the world may find this helpful. Just a bit of background on Chelsea FC and Chelsea pitch owners, before we proceed with the video. So, as we all know, Chelsea FC is the actual football club with players, managers, and all the staff, right? But Chelsea pitch owners, or CPO, are an independent entity that owns both the freehold of the Stamford Bridge, Chelsea's home stadium, and the naming rights of the Chelsea Football Club. So when I say this video will help you buy a CPO share, I actually mean a share of Chelsea pitch owners, CPO, and not Chelsea FC. Nonetheless, both these entities are intertwined and work hand in hand. In fact, CPO are the key stakeholders in any development plans made for the Chelsea Football Club. Now, I didn't buy this share for any monetary value or any expectations. I simply bought it just out of my love for the club. If you need to know more about this, I would recommend visiting the FAQ section on the official site. I would also request you to please get your questions cleared out before, going ahead and buying this share. Alright, so now that is out of the way, let's get started in the process of buying the shares. We need four things to apply for the shares. The Chelsea pitch owner's application form fully filled, the payment receipt, an address proof, and the photo ID proof. So let's start with filling up the CPO application form. Just head to the Chelsea's official website and download the application form. I'll obviously providing the link in the description below. I'll try to explain each section here as best as I can. Section A is purchase options. Here we need to select the type of share we want. There are various options out of which you can select whichever suits you best. The names are quite self-explanatory. I bought the first one, the electronic share, for £110. So there's an electronic share which we can receive via an email, an unframed share of A4 size, a framed share, then a framed share signed by a squad member, subject to availability of course, and a share presented on the pitch during the warm-up by a player. This is also called a pitch presentation, share certificate. I believe this would be convenient to someone who stays in England or nearby the football club. Now, obviously, there's a corresponding price associated with each type of the share. Now, if you opt to buy a physical share, basically any share other than the electronic share, you need to pay the postage and packing charges as well, donated by PNP written beside the share prices. It's £8 within the UK, £20 within the Europe, and £30 for the rest of the world. So just select any one type of share you would like to buy. Oh, and one more thing, this PDF is fillable or editable on the browser itself. You don't need an PDF editor or reader to fill up this form. So yeah, just go ahead and select the type of share you want. Now, for the folks who want a signed share, you will need to fill the next two fields. First field is your first preference of the player whose signature you want on your certificate. The second field is your second preferred player whose signature you would want on your certificate in case the first one is not possible. I wish Eden Hazard was still around. Oh, I love the current squad, please don't get me wrong, but I still miss him. Moving on to section B, shareholder details. These are the shareholder details. You'd want to put in the details of that person whose name you want on the share certificate. So if you're buying this share as a gift for someone, then you would need to fill in the details of the person you're gifting this share to. If you're just buying it for yourself, then just fill in your details, that's it. The next field is the number of shares you are applying for. I believe you can apply for a maximum of 100 shares. You can read this section at the top of the form here for more details. Alright, so the next field in section B is the amount that you would be paying. Since I bought just one electronic share, I put in £110, which is the actual amount I transferred to their account. For example, if you're buying two electronic shares, you would need to pay £220 and so on. Let's discuss this payment details more in the section C. This is quite straightforward as well. In case you're doing a direct transfer, then the account details are mentioned right here. But in case you opt for a credit or debit card via PayPal, then this is the PayPal link you need to send the payment amount to. Before proceeding with the payment, let's finalize this total payable section. It's better to fill this first so you would know exactly how much you would need to pay or transfer. So first is the share cost. This is the price of each type of share multiplied by number of shares you mentioned in section B. Then it's postage and packing. If you are living inside UK, it would be £8. If you are out of UK but within Europe, you need to enter £20. And if you are from the rest of the world, so that would be £30. But this is only if you are opting for a physical share. If you are opting for an electronic share, as I did, then there's no cost there. You just need to put in 0 there. Alright, so since I opted for electronic share, I'll put in 0 here. Now, the total would be the summation of the share cost and postage and packing charges. Please note that this total amount should match with the value mentioned in amount enclosed in section B. Alright, so these two amounts should match. Fine. Next up is payer's information. If you're buying the share as a gift for someone else, then you need to put your details in this section. Alright, because you would be paying for the share and be gifting it to someone else. So payer's information, it would be your details. But again, if you're buying this for yourself and already provided your details in section B, then you can leave this section blank. No need to fill it. Alright, now to complete the payment, just simply click on this link and it will redirect you to the PayPal payment page. Here, just click on send, log into your PayPal account if it asks, and make the payment. Don't worry if your national currency is other than the British pound sterling. Just enter the correct amount under recipient gets as £110 or whatever amount you calculated while filling up the form. So if you're, for example, again, if you're buying two electronic shares, it would be £220. If you're buying a physical share, then please do add up the postage and packing charges as well. The amount you enter here will automatically be converted to your currency, and that amount would be deducted from the bank linked to your PayPal account. I've already paid the amount and don't wish to buy another share right at this moment, so I'll just press cancel, but you will need to complete this payment. Once the payment is done, just download the payment receipt. You can get it from your PayPal account itself. Just go ahead and click on print details and save it as PDF. You don't need the actual printout here if you are going to send it over the email. Once this is done, come back to the CPO application form and you can move on to section D, delivery options. Again, in case you've opted for physical delivery of the share, just select the appropriate address where you would like the share to be delivered. Since we are buying the shares, we can skip section E as it's related to replacement of the shares and it's irrelevant when we are buying the shares. Section F, here you can just select the channel from which you got to know about Chelsea pitch owners. Just select whichever you feel is appropriate. Alright, we are done with this form. Just save it. We now have two things with us: a filled up CPO application form and the payment receipt. Next we need is just the address proof and photo ID. What I used is my latest bank account statement which has my address, so I used that as the address proof. And for photo ID proof, I submitted the scanned copy of my passport's first page. And there we have it. These are the 4 attachments we need to buy this share. Just attach all these 4 documents or attachments, what you want to call them, and drop an email to shares@chelseapitchowners.com with a one-liner saying, I'd like to buy X number of shares. Please find attach all the required documents. Alright, so that's it. These are the action steps needed from our end. Now once this is done, you may get an automated reply saying they are currently overloaded with applications and you will get yours ASAP. This is done on first come first served basis and not to send further emails for updates. Now rest assured, if you have filled up all the details correctly, paid up the correct amount, and sent accurate proofs as requested, your application will get processed and you will receive the shares that you applied for. I just received mine a couple of days back. I didn't follow up and I received my share within 12 days. This was a really smooth process and no back and forth communications were needed. You know what? Let me go ahead and show you the certificate and the letter that I received. So this right here is the letter confirming you as the shareholder for life. Oh, and you now have a vote on decisions made regarding the future of the pitch. I really feel honored to own this share certificate. Please feel free to pause this video here and go through this letter if you want to. Moving on to the actual share certificate, this is how it looks like. You may notice that this share is worth £100, whereas I paid £110. That's because they charge a one-time admin fee of £10, whereas the actual worth of one electronic share is just £100. So just wanted to clear that out. So there you have it. This is how you can buy a Chelsea pitch owner's share from anywhere in the world. I really hope this helps everyone who is interested in owning a share of this great club. And in case you have any questions, please post them in the comment section below and I will try my best to answer them. Also, please leave a like if you found this video helpful. And looking forward to an epic season ahead. Come on Chelsea, and always keep the blue flag flying high.